So, as y'all know from previous videos, all my family is from Watts originally. We all come off that east side and we moved to the west side. But before we made it to Inglewood, we was living in Compton. We was living in Compton on School and Tejada. And then in 1976, we made our way to Inglewood on 104th and Prairie. At that time, Inglewood still had a lot of whites around there. The whole landscape was different. It was blacks, whites, Mexicans, and Tongans. It's pretty much still the same, just more so Mexican, not really no whites, and very little blacks, quite a few Tongans. That's the landscape of today in that particular section. So me coming up as a kid over there, I played baseball at Rogers Park way before they built the gym. I'm an Inglewood kid from that side of town over there. I done played baseball for Lennox Little League, of course Inglewood Little League, all that around there. I done participated. My little bro done played T-ball at Darby Park. We done did all that shit. Everything except went to Morningside. There's a reason for that though. On my side of town, we went to the Lennox school districts. I went to Center Park Elementary, which is really known as Worthington Elementary. And that's why I know a few dudes from Center Park and Crenshaw Mafia, because I'm an Inglewood dude. So, us on 104th. Next door to me was my best friend, my brother, my cousin, everything. This whole family, the Johnsons, my homie Baby T, lived right next door to me. He had brothers, Hat Gang. They all came from Watts. Across the street, my other brother, my cousin, my loved one, my family member as well, Kuwa, all his family came from Backstreet. So, and then around the corner was the homie E-Man and the nigga Ilton. They still on 103rd. And he's from Great. Then on 106 was my nigga Clavo, Mark Green and his family. Niggas from Great. So, you had a lot of Watts niggas in this area over here. Watts niggas is what started saying Inglewatts. And then the natives, we just picked up on it and just started saying it as well. But the Watts niggas is what came over here. So many people from Watts is in this certain area. And it's just a phrase, Inglewatts. That's where it came from. And so later, the Raymonds came and put meaning behind it by representing that and putting it out there, promoting that. So the Raymonds is where you hear the name Inglewatts from. The Bloods do not say Inglewatts. And it became some type of separation throughout the city. You say Inglewatts right away, they know you're a Crip. Now I think all the Crips probably say Inglewatts in the city of Inglewood now. It's a form of separation. I ran across this blood dude from Inglewood family when I was in prison. And he told me, he said, when y'all say Inglewatts, man, we take that as a diss. And it's like kind of like how the Bloods in Compton say Compton with a B. The Compton Crips used to take that as a diss. And some still do. So Inglewatts is a form of separation within the city of Inglewood. The Raymonds and the Tongans is the ones who say that the most. If you hear somebody say Inglewott's, majority is going 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be from Raymond or Tongan. I don't know too much about what the other gangs are doing over there, but the Raymonds and the Tongans is pretty much similar because Raymond started Tongan, and the Tongans and the Raymonds is pretty much the same shit in a sense. So that's where the term Inglewatts come from. People wonder where does Inglewatts come from? It comes from niggas from Watts. Just saying it, and niggas just picked up on it. Can't nobody tell you that one person in particularly started that phrase, that name, Inglewatts, and just put it out there like, nigga, this is Inglewatts. And you could say, well, hey, that nigga Crazo from Raymond, he started Inglewatts. Now, quite a few of my peers do believe that. But no, I didn't start that. I actually heard it from my female cousin, Miss Bouncy from Circle City Pyro. She the first person I heard say Inglewatts. And her and her boyfriend, my nigga Smoke, my nigga Black Ass Smoke from Circle City Pyro. They used to always be at our house. Like I said, you had all these people from Watts on 104th. You had niggas from Circle City right here, Hat Gang right here, and Backstreet on the same street at the same time. And it's like, a lot of times we thought the shit was gonna hit the fan. But, niggas is family. So these are the people who I first heard say Inglewood, and we started saying it. People think my homie Big Lomac started the phrase, the name Inglewood. Lomac ain't started that. Lomac heard it as well. You can't say not one person started that because people, that's when them names, them phrases, them terms or whatever, just people just start saying it and just grow with it. So if anybody say the homie Big Nugget or Big Boots, they started that name. Nah, because Big Nugget told me himself he heard it from Lomac first. I don't know what Big Boots say, but these are founders of Ten Deuce Raymonds, and they need to start it. So it just come from people from Watts being over there, just saying it, just something that people picked up on. So now it's a section South Inglewood. That part right there, Century and Prairie, all the way back to Imperial. That's what we call Inglewatts over there. And we call it Inglewatts because Inglewood is once again a predominantly blood city, and the Crips needed their own identity. And we just adapted to that phrase, that name, Inglewatts. And that's what it became. IWTS. The city of Inglewood, also known as Inglewatts. P.S. Century and Prairie, 104th, 102nd, all around that way is what's considered Inglewatts. The rest of the city is not. So if you want to know where is Inglewood at, that's over there. That's the section where Draco the ruler was saying Inglewood when he was dissing, saying Ingleweird and all that. This is Inglewood over here where the Crips at. The Crips say Inglewood. That's what it is for the city of Inglewood, the gang culture. But, like I said, once again, the city is represented as a red city. That's why, again, Issa Rae with that show Insecure. If you watch the show, you see the little blood do it all in the movie, in the show, and he always saying stuff like he bigging it and he doing all that, him and his little son, whatever, because that's blood influence, right? So you gotta respect that. The niggas influence the whole city. Everybody in Inglewood, if you just from Inglewood, you adapts to the color red. That's the gang culture over the city. That's the Bloods, y'all. That city is not a red city. That ain't no fucking Portland, Oregon. That's the influence of the Bloods over the whole city. People just be from Inglewood and they wear red. Like, what did you go to, Morningside or Westchester? What the fuck, what high school you went to? Where else is just known for this city being red? It's gold because of Lakers. That's a Lakers city, period. But the red is there because of the Bloods. So for all y'all out there in Inglewood who like, oh, I don't be promoting gang culture or none of that. Yes, you do. Because you represent Inglewood and your favorite color tends to be red. You adapt to red more than anything, and you don't understand that comes from the Bloods. So here's the Crips over here, and we like, fuck that, nigga. Need some Raymond. 10 Deuce. Tonga Rays is we doing over here. We ain't with that shit. So this is Inglewood over here. They do that over there. Over here, it's like the blue zone. That's been our mentality on that side of town. South Inglewood. Different mentality. Because the rest of Inglewood don't have no Crips nowhere else. The Crips are in one part of the city of Inglewood. Century and Prairie, where you'll find the Crips in Inglewood. not Crenshaw and Manchester. Hell nah. Not over there. Enough families and shit over there. Nah. But, man, like I said, I'm not the dude to get on here and diss nobody's hoods. I don't play that shit no more. I don't do that. I give everybody they respect, man. I respect the people that done harm to me because, like I said, that's game banging. It's the life we live. That's what we signed up for this shit. But this the city I come from. And I've been in the city a long ass time. And I done seen all kind of shit around here. And I know how it's been as far as the influence of Bloods for this city. We always had to, defend ourselves in some kind of way. There's always been attack. People always look because of the blood influence. Now, it's several cities. Let me tell y'all about something real quick. There's several other cities out here with a lot of Bloods in them like that, where there's Crips. Pasadena, where the Pasadena Rangers at. Shout out to the homies out there. There's a lot of Bloods out there. San Diego, there's no Raymonds out there. There's Crips out there, but that's a predominantly Blood city also. The only difference between San Diego and Inglewood is the Crips out there. It's big Crip hoods in San Diego. You don't have real big Crip gangs in Inglewood. The big Crip gangs you have in Inglewood is the Raymonds, and that's the connection to all the rest of the Raymonds. But just one big hood like they got in San Diego, like West Coast 30s, they deep as fuck. You know what I mean? Then you got neighborhoods, you got Linda Vista 60s, then you got East Dago Mine. You don't have a lot of Crip gangs that deep in Inglewood like that. It's more Bloods in the city of Inglewood than anything. The people of the city of Inglewood just wear red like everybody's a Blood. And once again, y'all, that's the influence of the Bloods. Gang culture shift. What's the word I'm looking for? They shift the identity of a city. The Bloods, families, basically, and then all the rest of them followed. Because this has been going on way back to where this whole city is considered red. And then you think of everything about the city of Inglewood. You think, where does the red come from? Just think about that, y'all. Where does the red come from? Think about that sometime. Just think, where does the red come from? Not the high schools. Westchester is Westchester. Morningside is over here in South Inglewood. Pretty much considered Inglewatts over there, but still. That's it. But you come up getting bread from one of these junior high schools or something? I don't know what Crozier colors was, none of that shit. But the red comes from the B-Dogs. Them niggas done that. And we was always the ones who fuck that. We doing our own thing over here, nigga. We ain't rolling with that. This is Inglewatts. Niggas over here from Raymond.